The ace of discs refers to the variety of possibilities, the recognition of the seed, a wealth, as it were. The Celtic cross is a symbol of culture and faith. It is a symbol of scientific observation. It is the springing forth of fertility, healing, poetry, real world deeds. And we have a wreath symbolizing actual accomplishment. We see the Sangra Para Satanas, the blood for Satan flag. And this symbol, you could say, represents the three realms. And within those realms, we are beasts. We are part of the system that prepares for the coming of the Antichrist. And the chant that I have for this group is Uriz Pazbanvam Vabi Zim Zuliz Zah Riorah Lam Zirah Tavmarks Vamgavab Zapti. And I don't have a chant for Satanic Front, but this chant, because Sangra Para Satanas is a subdivision of that, it's what I'm using to work for that too. So the fire and companions of blood, with the winter and the water, has its influence. With the devil in hell, the enemy, that makes manifest the endings of the terms. Now, the symbol, it's on its side, right? We could say that because the pentagram is a verse, that it's a symbol of changing the order of things, are working upon the natural order. And we could also say that the 666 is the sun, and two of the rings is the moon. The circle is the completion. So you got a third one there. You got Venus and you got Earth. And another thing about the Celtic cross there is that the Celtic cross represents the heavens and the earth joining. So we have the concept of a Nexion in a way. And this is my spot here. Shown in the graphic is my outdoor altar space regarding SPS or BFS. Notice how I use the word for winter in the chant, or that word came to be the thing. I forget the rest of the instructions, but you know, in the winter, I think waning moon is the best time of the moon, but the winter solstice seemed to be this for the thing for this one. Some people would put Earth as the south, but most would put it in the north. So we can relate to the Tiamat myth and the Kingu myth. And so by the use of blood that is our own, or the directing of blood that is other than our own, we are becoming an active part of the rebellion of the creation, or whatever you want to call it. So we would say that Suxuziroslamu is the sort of the version of Tiamat, and Muzlavkaz is, I guess you could say, represented by the rings. And oh, I accidentally said the chant for the male claimant, which in some stories is represented by the star. In the Tiamat myth, this would have not been the case. Azir Azlu, but the female would have been Luzogos Lazong Ozab. And the general forces, like in my last seasonal, could also be represented by the circle. In some myths, you have a triple deity idea, and let me relate this real quick to the stargates. So the stargates, the triple, we have Alat, Manat, and Uza as the Nakala. So for Haron would be Pluto, Io would be Jupiter, and Rhea would be Saturn. So corresponding to Al-Uza would be Saturn, and Al-Amanat would be Jupiter. That's not typically the thing. Typically the lineup is, related to the sun, related to Venus. But, that's some corresponding information I think that we should let be known here. Some want to picture the violet and the blue. As part of this altar, on the north side of the altar, there's what I call a breadstone. And notice also with the Celtic cross is the idea that from the seed radiates the potential. In the Aleister Crowley deck, you have the 36. And a lot of people talk about a 13th zodiac, and that's not real. In the myth that I just shared, there's 12. I reconstructed that from multiple sources. And then there's the human participants, the scorpion people. And I've chosen very particular stones to go along with this. You may have a particular stone that you carry around as part of your practice or that you use in your practice. No need to go overboard. Things are very simple. It's about a consciousness here that we're employing. It's not about over ritualizing or over elaborating upon the creeds. And we can also say that because of that barb, not only is that the tail of the dragon connected to the face, connected to a view of the wider cosmos and wrapped in our view of our self and all that. But, it grounds us. It grounds us in the real world.